What I think has been really unusual and different and really welcome from my perspective is that the broader debate around women's feelings of safety or lack thereof in public. And a really interesting sort of strand has emerged from that about whether men should take some responsibility for the role that they play in causing discomfort, fear, anxiety and distress in women in public places. So, for example, if you're a bloke, it's 9 p.m. on a weeknight, you get off a train station at a suburban train station and you're walking behind a woman who's walking by herself, 10 out of 10 times that woman will be on her guard, probably got her keys in her fingers, sort of trying to figure out whether you're going to attack her or not. There is an opportunity there for men to say, okay, I'm probably causing this woman some distress. Shall I just stop and just play with my phone for a minute so she can get some distance? Shall I cross the road? Shall I turn the other way? Will men take responsibility for the role that they have in causing anxiety and fear in women? Now, of course, I come at this...
not just that gender. I mean, if I was a man, I am a man. If I was walking from station 9 or 10 o'clock at night and there was a person, probably a man, behind me by, a few feet, I'd be nervous.
Well, I mean, multiply that by a factor of a lot when you're a young woman. Obviously, there is a size differential between the average man and the average woman. And, of course, there's a huge difference in the statistical probability of a man attacking a woman than the other way around, or a man attacking a man in that context. So there's been a really interesting response to some public calls for men to be more considerate in public of the impact they're having on women. And of course, some of the responses are, oh, well, hang on a minute, I'm not a rapist and a murderer, so why should I adjust my behaviour just because there are a few rotten sorts out there? I think that misses the point. I take this view from the perspective that, of course, not all men are rapists and murderers, but I can pretty much guarantee you that all women, every woman, has been in a position where she fears for her safety, she fears for her bodily integrity. So men, if they are really trying to do the right thing by women, might be more considerate of the way that they occupy public space.
So it could be another example. I mean, it's fair enough, walking behind a person late at night, I think male or female, I would back off. Be it male or female. And I think I probably have in the past. And if there's somebody behind me, I'd be edgy.
Yep.
Another example. I mean, one of the problems I've had with the debate has been this assumption that all men were somehow, or most men were somehow responsible for violent and horrible crime. Take the current case out of it because a man's facing court. But look at Jill Maher, Adrian Ernest Bailey.
Yeah.
I refuse to be held accountable for a man like that, an animal like that.
That's absolutely fair. Again, there is this movement of not all men, and that is the sort of clarion call from a lot of men and also from a lot of women. But we need to sort of turn it around and look at the fact that women are overwhelmingly have been the victims of some kind of aggression, whether it be sexual or violent or whatever, at some point in their lives.
What can we do? Don't walk behind the woman. Yes, what else? I mean, is it unreasonable to say to a woman, gee, you're going jogging at 4 o'clock in the morning, is it a good idea?
So
is it unreasonable?
I had a bit of a barney with my mum about this last night. You'll be pleased to hear.
Oh, your mum, yeah.
Bless.
I bet you lost.
Well, there was no independent adjudicator, so I couldn't possibly say. But she had the view that a woman walking through a public space at any time of the day or night who has headphones in her ears is bananas and is being quite neglectful of her own safety. I think that a woman should be entitled to listen to a music or a podcast or whatever, whatever she wants to listen to.
But is it realistic?
Well, I mean, the question is, if someone's set on raping and murdering you, is the lack of headphones in your ears going to impact on that?
No, but you might see them coming.
You might indeed.
You might be able to escape.
The other thing is, though, if there is someone out there who is looking for a target, looking for a victim, looking for someone to harm, and you are not that person because of what you've done, then someone else is going to be that person.
Well, yes, but
someone
are you
else
going
is going
to
to be
say
that
better
victim.
me than somebody else? You can look after your own safety.
Well, that's true, but wouldn't it be better to focus on the offending behaviour rather than?
That comes first.
So I think, well, that's the thing, that it doesn't come first in public conversation. The thing that comes first in public responses is, oh God, what was she doing in that park at that time of night? Oh, was she drunk, or what was she wearing, all of that kind of stuff. And that even factored in with Jill Maher a little bit, the fact that she was a little bit unsteady on her feet. There was always that examination of the behaviour of the victim before that was seen as contributing to her vulnerability to the violence that was perpetrated on her.